Hello, welcome, namaskar. Yet another episode of Unmapped Vacations on our YouTube channel. This is Sameer and this is Deeksha.
Hello guys, welcome to yet another interesting episode of Unmapped Vacations where we go unmapped. And we hope you enjoyed our very interesting quiz-oriented tiger episode and let us know what you thought about it. So, because we've been talking so much about nature, wild,
Jungles,
forests, does any other type of travel also interest you?
Oh, of course. In fact, all kinds of travel is something that I look forward to, which is why we are here today actually. But specifically, if you ask me, then if I'm not in the forest, then you'll find me probably hiking one of the mountains. So trekking is something that I do like. And trekking is something that I do look forward to. So it's not like I've done 50, 60, 70 treks. I've done a few, but they're amazing. And I think I've mentioned this in our previous episode also that one trek every year, everybody must do. And I'd like to follow that principle myself.
Nice.
So in fact, in August, I'll be off to my trek to Harkidun. So looking forward to that.
Can you then tell us more about this trek? What it is, where it is, which part of India?
So Harkidun basically is a trek which is closer to Dehradun, Uttarakhand side. It's a very scenic trek, fairly easy compared to maybe some other treks may not be that challenging. Good for people who are wanting to restart their trekking journey or people who haven't done a trek in a long time. So this is a good trek where you can restart your trekking journey.
Nice.
So August is when we are going, so you can start your trekking journey with us.
Do that.
But yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to say what is different about this trek because I think almost all treks have their plus points. Be it with respect to the terrain, be it with respect to the location, be it respect to what they offer. So for example, if you're looking at Valley of Flowers trek, then the kind of biodiversity that is there on that trek with respect to the flowers that you get to see. In fact, some of them are endemic to that region. Plus then along with Valley of Flowers, you also have the challenging Hemkund Sahib trek where you get to see the only Lakshman temple that is there along with an amazing Gurudwara at 14,500 feet. Then you have my personal favorite, which is the Great Lakes trek. That trek is outstanding. I mean, you have to do that trek to believe how beautiful that area of India is.
Oh my God.
It is superb. Absolutely brilliant. Then you have the Gomukh Tapovan trek, where our very own Ganga originates from. Then there is one which is not so popular, but it's equally beautiful, which is the Kyarkoti, Taknor Valley Kyarkoti Lake. A lot of people don't even know about this trek probably. And I think looking at your expression, you also probably like, hey, there is a trek like this?
Yeah, I had no idea about this.
So yeah, I mean, there are some really amazing treks in India.
Wow.
And I love to do treks.
Trekking is something, is it the opposite of luxury travel?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Then how do you convince people for it's because it must be a very different experience.
Yeah.
And also like you're saying, it must be really scenic and gorgeous and you're in nature, you're walking in nature, discovering nature as you go.
Yeah.
So like a person like me, I'll be honest, I am the last person to go on a trek.
Interesting.
So how would you convince me to go
Well, it's
on
pretty
a trek?
simple. Come to office, I'll show you the pictures and videos and they will speak for themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll have to like walk.
Yes, you have to walk. But those walks at the end of the day, when you reach that destination or when you reach that spot for which that trek is famous, you are left breathless or you are left spellbound. And probably breathless, you're left anyways. But apart from that, the sheer beauty is what leaves you speechless, stunned, amazed, and it just takes away all the fatigue. And you will be like, oh wow, this was really worth it. It's not that difficult to convince somebody to do a trek. I mean, honestly speaking, you have two sets of people: people who like to trek, and then people who don't like to trek. So those who don't like to trek, they come separately. They have their own trips planned. They will continue doing that. And then there are people who like to trek. The only convincing probably that you might require is to push them to do a slightly challenging trek. So that is where a bit of convincing or a bit of motivation comes in. But otherwise, convincing somebody to do a trek is not really that difficult, because those people already know that they want to do that trek. It's just a little push here and there with respect to, yeah, okay, this particular trek, even though you have not probably been in the best of shape, you still would be able to do it.
So tell us, a hike and a trek. Are those two different things, or they go hand in hand?
Not really. A hike is something which is for a short period of time. Whereas a trek is something that will continue for a longer time, longer duration. So a hike is usually something where you'll probably go up a hill or tekdi. आपण जे म्हणतो, सो टेकडीवरती तू म्हणणार नाही मी ट्रेक केलं. टेकडीवरती आयडियली विल से आय हाइक्ड अप. Whereas a trek, so Gurd forts also probably would come under the hiking category rather than the trekking part of it. Because a trek normally means it involves more number of days, a lot more walking, a lot more exploring. So that is what a trek will give you. And in fact, coming to your point where you said, is trek the opposite of luxury? Most of the times, yes, but then there are certain treks which do give you that option. I will still not call it luxury per se with respect to, say, the other trips. But for a trek, yes, it is still luxury because you're staying in a tea house. You have hot water, you have a washroom, you have a bed to sleep on. So in trekking terminology, that is 5-star. Because otherwise you're sleeping in a tent with a sleeping bag.
Oh my God.
Whether you will get water or not, you don't know. Garam pani to dur ki baat hai, like we discussed already. So there are a few treks which are more relaxed, where you will get to stay in a proper room. You will have a nice cozy bed to sleep. You will have a good washroom. So there are treks like that. It's
I think
like
Annapurna trek is one of those
most of
treks,
the Nepal side treks, you have this option where you can stay in a tea house, which is why most of the Nepal side treks tend to be slightly costlier than treks in, say, Uttarakhand, Uttarkashi, or within India. That is the main difference, because you have this luxury. But then another factor there is they'll charge you for hot water also. Whereas at our place, you won't get charged for hot water.
You won't get hot water, basically.
You will to some extent, but you won't get it to have a bath.
To drink, probably.
To drink, yes. To drink, to maybe just, freshen up in the morning.
Right.
Clean up your face. So for that, you'll get hot water. But that's about it.
But, this is what I've heard most of the times is it because of the altitude? Because most of the times people talk about there was no hot water, it was so cold, it was raining all the time. Is it because the season that we pick to go on a trek, or is it because of high altitude? The weather is going to be unpredictable and you are going to end up...
There are quite a few factors. I mean, one is the area and the location in which you tend to go trekking, Of course, altitude is a big factor in that. But imagine getting an entire pipeline at 11,000, 12,000, 14,000 feet in probably the most remotest of places.
Right.
It's not going to be easy. And it's never been. I mean, if it was, then you probably would have had a bathtub and a resort opening up out there as well. So, there are quite a few factors. And I think that is the beauty probably of trekking. That you need to adapt, you need to adjust, and you need to be happy with whatever is there at that moment. Rather than trying to fight your way or figure things out in trying to get yourself comfortable, if you can just adapt, adjust, and accept that, okay, this is what it is, and I have to adjust myself in whatever it is, and I'm still going to be okay. Once you have that mindset, then it's
nothing
amazing.
like it.
Then nothing's going to stop you. So then it doesn't really matter whether, पुलं म्हटले होते का कोण म्हटलं होतं whole hour is ours. ती concept पण तुम्हाला पटली की but then there is nothing really stopping you from coming on a trek. Because at times, yeah, these things, you have to keep in mind because it's not easy. I mean, yes, nowadays, thanks to technology and development, you do have portable toilet tents, which we also have on our trips. But then you have to make sure that you keep them dry. And those are dry pit toilets. So you can't use water. The minute you start using water, then you're going to start getting foul smell. So these are the small adjustments that one has to be ready with when you're on a trek. But at least you have the comfort of a tent and toilet seat. So it's not completely whole hour is over, but there is some amount of comfort or what you can say relief. Especially at times we do get trekkers who are 55 plus or 60 plus, and they, as they grow older, do have some challenges with respect to getting their day-to-day activities done. So for them, these small, although small but still useful adjustments that are available come in handy. But otherwise, whole hour is hour.
So into the wild.
Absolutely.
Literally. Like
Literally.
you're in nature, with nature, doing everything. Oh my God. What was your first trek? Like when did you start? Can you start young? Like how young can you start going on treks?
Oh, you can start as young as 7 or 8.
Really?
Yeah. In fact,
like proper hiking wala trek.
Proper trek, good 10 days trek. So I have had a camper who was 7 years old, and he came with me to Auli Kuari trek, which is again in Uttarakhand. Your base is near Joshi. There's a hill station called as Auli.
Yes.
Which is,
I've been.
So
oh
that is the trek. So Auli to Kuari Pass, and then you come down
nice.
from a little further away from Joshi. So that's a very nice trek, very scenic trek. Nice. And again, a very easy trek. So we had this 7-year-old camper who did it gleefully.
So nice.
I've had an 8-year-old boy do a trek with me. So you can start as young as 7. In fact, the Great Lakes trek, I have seen a 6.5-year-old girl do that trek.
Oh my God.
I mean, I personally was not, I'm not a big fan of that, but she did it.
Nice.
She did it quite comfortably.
Because of the difficulty level.
Yeah, because that trek, there's a lot of walking involved. A lot. I mean, in 6 days, you cover close to 75 to 78 kilometers.
Oh my God.
So on an average, every day, you're walking at least 10 to 12 kilometers.
Yeah.
So it's
an upward climb.
Yeah, upward climb, descents, then longish walks. So yeah, that trek, 6.5-year-old girl did it.
Nice. Good inspiration
So
for a person.
well
like
done to
me.
her parents also.
Yeah. For sending her.
No, they were there
I mean,
with
of
her.
course, but I mean
yeah.
accompanying her.
In fact, for that trek, we have had a 9-year-old, and he did it quite comfortably.
Oh, nice. Okay, good to know. But it is usually, I mean, it's my misconception that if you're on a trek, that means you need to know rock climbing or rappelling or like all those difficult tasks that are not, I mean, it's not accessible to me. I can't train, I can train for it, but it's not like my regular daily activity that is approachable.
These are again two different concepts or two different, adventure activities altogether. So rock climbing or a bit of rappelling, you might need when you're doing a mountaineering course or when you're going for a proper summit where there is a lot of technicality involved.
Okay.
So that is where these knowing these things may be helpful.
Right.
It's not like you have to know them, but if you know them, then yes, they do make your life a lot easier. But then that is mountaineering, more towards mountaineering. That is not really trekking. So when it comes to trekking, it's more of walks, hikes, trails, and not much of technicality involved. But when it comes to mountaineering, that is where all these technicalities and knowing these things come in handy. Rock climbing, rappelling, that is where these things will come in handy. But when you're trekking, it's...
So Everest Base Camp is a mountaineering...
That will be a summit. It won't really come... It could come a bit under mountaineering, but it is more of a summit where certain technicalities are involved.
But there's a base camp also, right? Like
no, the base camp is a trek.
It's a trek.
Base camp is a trek, and the biggest challenge for base camp, more than the route or anything, is how well you manage your altitude gain. Because end of the day, you are reaching at 18,500 feet, and it's no joke. It's a task. So
Yeah.
if you are able to manage that well with a well thought of and a well planned out itinerary, then Everest base camp shouldn't be a problem.
But also it's getting it because it has become so popular, it's getting a bit overcrowded as well.
Not bit, very.
So-
it's becoming very overcrowded. In fact, probably 8-10 years back, I had read a news in Times of India where the then popular DJ Paul Oakenfield, his
Yeah.
live performance was being kept at Everest Base Camp.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, what? But this is what it is. And
How? And
so
why?
So,
I mean,
yeah, I mean, unfortunate part. But
but it's not that easy, right? It's not accessible. You need to have extreme physical strength,
No, so-
technique.
everything, all his equipment would have been probably flown down through a helicopter at the base camp, because there are air bases there where they're probably used more for in case of any rescue
Yeah,
operations that are
of
needed.
course, yeah.
But I'm sure for this particular event, that is what must have been done.
Damn.
But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
these things happen, and Everest Base Camp, being Everest Base Camp, it is going to be popular. So yes, it is crowded, but because the route is so well set and you have a lot of facilities also now available, people still tend to go there, and finally it is Everest.
I know,
Who's
I
going
know.
to say no to go
There
see the
was-
Everest or get a chance to see the Everest?
Of course. There was this documentary also which had come out recently where the guy, he summited Everest and he took a selfie and there was a line, there was a queue
Yeah.
for him to reach
Yeah.
the summit,
Yeah.
and there were like 50, 80 people waiting
Yeah.
to summit Everest. I mean,
Must have been
what?
very much
It's crazy.
relatable and very much possible.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's as good as going to Simvagad and waiting in queue. I mean, it's become that
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part.
crowded and
That's
popular
the
in a
unfortunate-
really like,
and that is why I keep repeating. I think we touched upon this even in our previous episodes, that the carrying capacity. One needs to
Yeah.
understand the carrying capacity of every destination,
Yeah.
and one needs to respect that. And especially at places like Everest Base Camp, or when you're summiting Everest, or even for that matter, there's a trek in Ladakh where you have to summit, which is the Stok Kangri. So that trek was off limits for quite a bit, because there were quite a few incidences that took place because of the overcrowding part of it.
oh my God.
So then that trek was kept off limit. But so yeah, you need to be careful. And I think there's a very important line in this movie on Everest. There's this
Okay.
movie on Everest where a New Zealand trekking expert was taking this expedition. And I think he says there that you pay me to keep you alive.
Oh my God.
So you need to respect what
Yeah.
I'm deciding. So yeah, that is something which people need to understand, that it's not every day that you get a chance to go there. But at the end of the day, you need to understand that if it's the mountains and the weather is going to be completely unpredictable. So you need to respect that, and if you don't get a chance to go, you just respect it and then you come down. There's no point unnecessarily pushing yourself and not listening to the local person or the local guide who's telling you. Yeah, so Everest Base Camp is there. Then there is Annapurna Base Camp also. There is Gyokyori in that region, which is also a lovely trek.
Okay.
There are quite a few treks in that region. Deeksha, you said that you're not really a trek person. But I do know that you do your workouts, or you are fairly physically active in that sense. So then what is it that stops you from doing a trek? Or do you have some apprehensions?
Many. Because, yes, I do work out regularly. I try to be physically fit, mentally also, but I try to be physically fit. The issue with trekking or hiking, like I said, there are these misconceptions that, oh, do I need to know rock climbing? Do I need to train for months and months ahead of a trek? Or will I be able to survive a trek? Because you could come across challenging weather or, circumstances. So these are certain types of preconceived ideas that I have heard from other trekkers or travelers, and then that's what stops me from like, how long do I have to train for a trek? Or is this not enough? Like, I do skipping every day or yoga every day, or like I do cardio training.
Right.
But probably it's not enough. Then I'll have to go this special shopping spree where I'll have to spend thousands of rupees for shoes and, clothes and gear and all those things put together. Then I'm like, is it worth it? Like, then I'll have to stay in a tent where there won't be any water. And then I'm okay with that. I'm like, I'm not this. I mean, I won't be like, chauffeur me around. No, I would love to engage into those adventures. But
So
I don't
what
know,
if I
it's-
tell you that all of this can be taken care of? Then will you join for a trek?
You mean the tent part, the...
So
Yeah, of
if I tell you
course.
that your tent stay will be comfortable, if I
Okay.
tell you that you don't have to worry about buying equipment, you can rent it out.
Okay.
If I tell you that whatever physical activities that you're doing are
Yeah.
good enough, you'll still be able to do XYZ treks.
Okay.
Then what is your take on it? Will you do a trek?
Yes, then I think, see, like if I have someone like you to tell me that it's okay, like you don't have to train for like 6 months to go to this one trek or a
Correct.
hike or whatever. And there is another thing that do I have to carry my own stuff? Because then if I'm going there for 15 days,
Right.
of course I know it's not like a fashion show that I have to like
Correct.
wear. I might take 15 clothes, but but will I have to carry that? And then will I be able to climb also? Like all those questions come to me and other people's minds.
Correct, correct.
And I think unless and until you do it, you won't know.
Yeah, so the best way to do all of this is to go and speak to the right person.
Correct.
Rather than trying to find out information online, it is best that if you can go and speak to a proper organization or to somebody who has been experienced or who has experience with respect to this side of travel. Because
Right.
there are so many treks which are ideal for beginners. Like we spoke, that even a 6 or a 7 or an 8-year-old can do.
Right.
So if they can do, why can't you?
Yeah.
And if I have had trekkers or people who are 60 plus, 65 plus, and they have done some treks which are quite challenging.
Right.
But they have done it quite smoothly with simple exercises or simple routine, following that every day. So this idea or this notion that people tend to have, कि trek na, I'll have to do so much of, I'll have to take so much of effort, I'll have to prepare so much. That's not really true for all the treks. Yes, there are some treks where you really need to train. In fact, if you are going to go for a summit like an EBC or Stoke Kangri or any other 14,000 or 8,000 plus meters trek that you are going to go, so you do need a good 1.5 year practice. But apart from that,
Wow.
there are treks where even if you just do regular physical activities like you're walking or you're working out or you're playing something, I can list you n number of treks which you can just join on.
Okay.
And you will have a great time.
Okay. But isn't it also because you have to cover certain kilometers every day?
Of course.
So it is, I mean, can I stop and just take in the nature and keep going?
Yes.
Because usually what people tell is that once I start walking, I never stop. I stop whenever the instructor tells me to stop. And I am a kind of a person where if I see something beautiful, I want to take a minute, observe it, if possible, take a couple of photos, and then go ahead and...
Yes, absolutely. You can do that. In fact, that is what trekking is all about. Being in the moment, enjoying what you are getting to see, because you are getting good weather right now. There's a good chance you might not get it in the next 1 hour.
Right.
So I always tell people, there are so many people who ask me this, "Ki, Arey, I don't know how fast I'll be able to walk."
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no race.
Correct.
You walk at your own pace. Yes, of course, you can't really just go on waiting endlessly, because eventually you have to reach your campsite
course.
and get ready to rest it out and then sleep and move on the next day.
Right.
But 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if you want to wait at a place, soak in that moment, take some pictures, of course you can do that. In fact, that is what most people invariably do on a trek.
Right.
Where you all are together, you all are having a good time, you're clicking pictures, you're sharing jokes, you're singing along,
Nice.
you're pulling each other's leg. because that's the best way to keep everyone engaged and then at the same time make them cover the distance that you want them to cover.
Yeah.
So trekking is something which really builds bonds, I mean, the kind of people you meet, the kind of friendships, the kind of community you build.
Yeah.
That is something completely different when you go on a trek.
Yeah, because you're hands-on. You need to be there if somebody needs you.
Correct.
And most of the times there could be circumstances where you had to help somebody or somebody has helped you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have no option. You
Yeah.
have to be with that person
Yeah,
for
of
the next
course.
10 days. So might as well
Get along.
get along. Because they do say that when you start scaling height or when you start reaching particular altitude, you tend to get irritable. And so that's one common thing. Also, at times, treks can make you feel overwhelmed with those huge mountains. At times, they are so close enough that, you can feel a little,
Oh my
Emma, Bapre, what is happening kind of a thing. But then that is where the group comes in. That is where all the fun part that's happening. They make sure that, you are relaxed, feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
And then the hot tea or the hot Maggie at your campsite, that is again something else. Those experiences. Or at times I've had popcorn at our campsite.
wow.
So we are all playing cards in the
Nice.
tent and then our cook comes in with nice hot popcorn
Oh, nice.
or bhaji.
Oh, wow.
Or we have had pakodas, bread pakodas. We have had gulab jams and rasgullas.
On a trek.
On a trek. In fact, on one of our treks, our cook baked up a cake in a cooker because he got to know that one of the campers has a birthday there. And he had made icing and he had written happy birthday for him on that.
Arey, so nice.
Even I was not aware of this.
Oh,
He somehow
nice.
came to know that one of our participants has a birthday. He just baked up a cake for him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So trekking is a different world altogether, I will say, and it is fabulous. And the kind of things that it tells you about yourself as a person, you will be stunned to know, okay, I have these qualities also in me. I did not know. That has happened with me a lot. And patience is one of them.
Oh my God.
You can't help but so being patient or being calm or trying to be calm or trying to be patient is something that I've learned while I'm on my treks. Because you have to. There's no point getting worked up or there's no point getting frustrated on. Because certain things are not going to change. You might as well accept
and
them.
especially weather is very unpredictable.
Exactly.
And then,
Exactly.
yeah. People
But
can
the
get
views that you get, the sunrises, the sunsets, the lakes, the purity, the greenery, outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
I mean, it's very different to a safari or like let's say like an international trip.
A normal trip.
Where you're like just
where you're going
walking
for
around.
a destination.
Yeah.
Completely different. All this while we have been talking about Himalayan treks, the
Yes.
mountains. Are you aware there are treks within Maharashtra also?
I mean, yeah. Okay, so I could be wrong.
Huh.
So there are couple that I've heard.
Don't tell me you're going to say Siahatcha trek kela me. There are quite a few treks, like I said, you'll be surprised to know there are so many treks within Maharashtra itself. There is Borgiri Bhima Shankar, there is Katrat Sinhagad, there is Rajgarh Sinhagad, there is Katrat to Rajgarh to Sinhagad also, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Then there's a very nice trek. It's not done much of late because of accommodation challenges, but there was a trek in Maharashtra, which is a good 3 to 4 days trek.
Okay.
So it used to start from Polo Ground, end up at Dhawle village, which is so you basically cut across the Polatpur Ghat, the ghat that takes you to Pratapgarh. So you enter at Dhawle village and then from Dhawle you climb up to Arthur Seat, and then that's where the trek used to end.
Okay.
That's a fantastic trek. There is Rajmachi trek closer to Mumbai. Duke's Nose again probably would be more like a hike rather than a trek, but that's equally good.
But there are many treks.
There are so many
between
treks.
Mumbai and Pune, there are
So
because
many.
it is fully, because we are surrounded by mountain
Absolutely.
range.
And there
so
is
there must be
one,
really...
there's this Sandan Valley trek as well, which is also very popular.
yeah.
Since you're saying that you don't know whether you can trek or not, so you can probably start off with Andharban ek trek hai. In fact, recently it was in the news on social media for getting overly crowded.
Oh.
But that is a fantastic trek to do
Okay.
near Tamini. It's a good 14-kilometer walk. So
Okay.
you start in this village called as Pimpri, and then you get down at Bhira Dam.
Okay.
So fabulous trek.
Okay. I am almost fully convinced now to go on a trek with you, of course. I don't know if I can trust somebody else. But do you have any funny incidences or funny mishaps happening on a trek?
Yeah, again. So, in fact, this is probably one of the most common, which happens fairly regularly. I'm sure if you ask a lot of trekkers, they'll also say. And on one of our treks, one of our horses ran away.
What?
Ran away. So we were one horse short.
Bichara.
So then we had to manage everything. We had to, make sure that all our tents, sleeping bags, dining tent, kitchen tent, all our bags, all of that, somehow we had to manage with one horse short. And then in that scenario, two of our guides, they said कि ठीक है, दो bags हम उठाते हैं. And they picked up two bags each, and then they trekked with us for a good 10 kilometers. And
my
they were
God.
walking as if they are carrying a small backpack on them.
Oh my God.
So
But isn't it true that most of these treks, or even now, I mean, mountaineering adventures also, they are made possible because of, again, the guides
absolutely.
and the locals and people who do this.
100%. In fact, I am a firm believer or a very strong believer that when you are going on a trek, you should not be carrying your own luggage. It doesn't matter how much you practice here back home, you cannot replicate the altitude you are going to go at.
Correct.
And when you reach those altitudes, what will happen, how your body will react, you cannot predict.
Right.
So I always believe, so even when we announce our departures, we make sure that none of our participants are carrying their bag. The only bag they carry is their day pack, which will have a sunscreen lotion, a first aid kit, which we provide every camper, a water bottle, and a lunch box.
Okay.
That's it. So at the most, you'll be carrying probably 1.5 kgs on your back. Everything else goes on mules. We make sure that when you're coming for a trek, we try and take away all the challenges that you may face, which is probably going to make your trek that bit challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, there are two schools now, two school of thoughts. There are some people who believe that no, one should be strong enough, one should be carrying his own bag, and we should be able to trek. So that is one school of thought, which is not wrong, but then not everybody is made to do that.
Right.
Even though how much ever you practice, like I said, you cannot replicate the altitude.
Correct.
So once you are at that altitude, if something happens and you are not able to adapt or your body doesn't adapt quickly, then what are you going to do? Then last minute, are you going to shift your bag, which will cost you extra? Or if you're, even after doing that, your body is still not used to the less oxygen that is there, you might have to come back. So instead of that, might as well just offload your bag from the beginning and give yourself that extra bit or that extra chance to let your body acclimatize. Probably that will help it more because there is less effort, less stress on it. So yeah, I mean, both schools are fine, but we are the ones who believe in doing it a little more comfortably. So even with respect to the safety part of it, we tend to have an extra horse or two horses, depending upon the group size.
If one
So
runs
in case
away.
somebody, no, not for that, but in case there is a need where somebody, needs to be rescued quicker, then we have that horse in place. Rather than arranging for it last minute, we always keep it with us.
Wow, these are really good. I mean, I was going to ask you if I can't. I mean, I need to carry water. I need to but you already shared that with us that you can carry a small bag with essentials.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, and you can also probably
Of course, these things so are
snack bar
lifesavers.
with you. Nice. Okay.
But the important part is that whenever you finish off, the wrapper should go back in your bag
Correct.
and back to Pune from where you have got it.
Correct.
That is something also we stress
Yes.
a lot, because keeping the trail clean, not just for yourself but also for people who are coming later on
100%.
after you have gone. And overall, keeping in mind conservation part, keeping the environment clean,
Yeah.
all these factors. So we do try to inculcate these small things amongst ourselves. So we make sure that we carry all this back home, because it's easier
Amazing.
to dispose it off back home.
Yeah. No, it's so much necessary also. I remember one of my friends had gone to a trek, and it was like I think 7-day or 6-day long trek. And he actually told me a very cute, nice thing, that because you also need to unwind after that trek.
Correct.
Like you can't just reach your destination and fall
Yeah,
asleep.
yeah.
You need to unwind, you need to eat.
Yes.
And they used to do Sangeet Khurchi, kiva like small activities for also the group to come together.
Yes.
And they were really nice icebreakers.
Absolutely.
So how do you guys do
So the
that?
best bonding on a trek happens in your dining tent, or in your dining tent.
Right.
Because that is where it's the most cozy. Because once the weather in the evening changes, everybody gets into the dining area, and then that is the most happening place.
Nice.
All the vibes that we talk
nice.
about is the dining tent area. So you'll get a lot of dumb charades happening, antaksharis happening. You'll have different kind of games and experience sharing that happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, those things are very important. In fact, at times you also end up doing a lot of stargazing, because treks is one of the most amazing places to do stargazing, because there are no city lights, and especially if you are there on a new moon night, then to pucho hi mat. So
In for a
even
treat.
Milky Ways are visible.
Kai?
It is outstanding. I mean, I have seen
Wow.
the best, the most picturesque, scenic supermoon when I was on Great Lakes trek, and it was huge. I mean, all of us were like, it's that big. It was looking outstanding. I mean, the setting was so nice. Through the tents, we could see the moon coming up. And it just kept growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And then everybody was out with their phone, and then everybody like, phone मध्ये काहीच येत नाही, जाऊ दे, आपण डोळ्याने बघू.
Oh, are good.
And then all of us were like, just 10 minutes, nobody said anything. We were just looking at the moon, the stars slowly, the sky started lighting up. It was amazing. So you get to see the most beautiful sky when you're on a trek.
No, that's another point where I can be like, okay, that's
Absolutely
a
stunning.
good
Absolutely
catch.
stunning.
So Sameer, we've been talking about the fun parts, the challenging parts of a trek. Can you tell us about the basic safety tips and what should be done in order to have an enjoyable time while trekking?
Yeah, I think the biggest safety tip one needs to look into or needs to pay attention is basically how well is your trek itinerary being planned. Because invariably, every trek that you are going to do, especially in the Himalayas, you're going to gain altitude. So just because you want to shorten it for whatever reasons, maybe you don't have too many leaves, or maybe you don't want to spend an X amount, don't really shorten that trek for these reasons, because then probably you're going to end up getting in trouble with respect to altitude sickness. So every trek that you plan or every trek that you want to do, make sure that the itinerary is such where you have enough time to let your body acclimatize so that you are able to enjoy, because that is one of the most important factors for any trek, is how well you let your body acclimatize. Because end of the day, if you do not acclimatize, that's the end for you. There is no way, you just have to come back, because descend is the only option in that case.
Right.
And it is better that you are able to descend on your own 2 feet rather than being lifted up by the helicopter, because then there are a lot more complications that get involved. So the best way is make sure that whenever you're planning your trek, either on your own, or rather especially on your own, make sure you're planning it well. You're giving enough time. If you're going with any organization, then they've already done their homework. They have the right itinerary. Just follow it. stay hydrated. Very important on a trek because the weather changes. You have cooler weather. There is less, perspiration. So you may
Right.
not feel the need to drink water.
Right.
But that is where probably your body needs a lot of water.
Right.
Because the more you stay hydrated, the more you are going to let your body acclimatize faster.
Right.
Rest, something again very important. Once you have reached your campsite, rest it out. Enjoy the campsite, enjoy the scene,
Nice.
scenery,
Yeah.
eat a lot of food. And the best part about trek is eat whatever you want. Because end of the day, the amount of calories you
You're
burn,
burning. Yeah.
it doesn't matter whether you have 10 pakodas or 20 vada pavs or parota full of cheese or full of Amul butter.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I remember none of my treks, when I've come back gaining weight. I've come back at least 3 to 4 kilos lighter.
Oh my God.
That's another reason why you should
Yeah,
be
you
trekking.
And in 15 days, if you can lose 4
Exactly.
kgs, who
Not in
wouldn't want
15
that?
days, in 10 days. And you lose good healthy weight. Huh?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
lose a lot of fat because I have done this. I did the Great Lakes trek. I did that trek. I came back and I did my BMI. And there was 3% fat loss.
Oh my God.
So, और क्या motivation चाहिए ट्रेक करने को?
This is it. Now I'm going to start trekking.
So yeah, so jokes apart, that is one of the most important things that you have to look for in a trek, that you let your body acclimatize. Don't mess around on the first 2-3 days. Don't run around too much. Don't unnecessarily stress yourself.
Yeah.
Take it easy, go with the flow, listen to what the trek leader has to say, follow each and every step, and you should be fine.
And quickly, can you tell us if there are any age limitations for trekking?
yeah.
Because recently, one of my aunts and my mom, it wasn't a trek. They were planning for a trip, but because they were going to go to a higher altitude place,
Yeah.
they had to get their medical tests done.
Yeah.
So is it similar for treks as well?
So there are certain treks where there is a restriction on the age, or other, more than a restriction, you need to have a medical certificate from your
Right.
practicing physician that your vitals are fine. You don't really have any medical issues as such, and that you are fit enough to do this, to do a particular trek.
Yeah.
Certain treks are there. In fact, for us, we try and make sure we get this for almost all the treks that we do. Because it's a good way for even the person to know that, okay, because it's not like every day or every month you're going to go and get your medical done, or get certain
Yeah.
things checked out.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to get yourself
Yeah.
checked as well. So we
For all
try
the age groups, you
Yeah, yeah.
ask
So
them.
for all the treks, for all the age groups, as far as possible, we try and get a medical certificate from all of them.
Nice.
Because it's a good way for us also to know. Because at times some people are a little hesitant to disclose certain medications that they might be on. So then if you have a doctor's certificate
right.
which says that no, this fellow does need this medication,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
we
yeah.
can have additional stock of that. It's not like the
Nice.
participant won't have, but if he forgets, if it
Yeah,
falls
yeah.
off, then we have that medication with us.
Oh.
So there are certain treks where you do need a medical certificate,
Yeah.
but as such there is no age restriction. Generally what we say is if you are able to go up Sinhagad in an hour's time, you should be fine to do most of the treks in the Himalayas.
Wow.
But you need regular practice.
Yeah.
And the more you practice, the more it becomes easy for you when you do the trek.
Nice. So it's like a lifestyle change
Yes,
that
yes.
you train yourself, you start hiking, you
Correct.
start trekking, and
You start feeling better, you start
Nice.
feeling fresh, you stay healthy,
Of
you lose weight,
you lose fat most.
you lose fat. So you start trekking, you start seeing a lot many benefits out of it.
Nice.
Plus, like I said, it does tell you a lot about yourself as well.
Correct.
You as a person, you get to rediscover yourself as a person. You get to see so many different places, get to experience so many different situations.
Yeah.
And some of the places are, like we said, they're outstanding. Absolutely stunning.
Okay. I'm
And
convinced.
yes, one more thing when it comes to the safety part of it,
Yeah.
don't unnecessarily take medications without consulting your doctor and without informing your trek leader. Because he needs to know. Because end of the day, he's the one who's going to be taking you on the trek.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
without informing him, do not take any medication, especially when you're on high altitudes. Because there are a lot of symptoms which are very close to AMS, which is acute mountain sickness,
Yeah.
but not necessarily they may be AMS.
Okay.
There could be something as simple as acidity as well.
Right.
Because most of the times your for your treks, the destinations as such where your flights are red-eye flights. So acidity can be a factor.
Yeah.
So discuss this rather than taking medication without informing him. Because by chance, if those symptoms are related to AMS, then taking a medication and you're masking those symptoms, then it could lead to further complications. So the biggest
okay.
thing or the most important safety tip is do not take any medication without informing the trek leader you're going with.
Okay.
And also, of course, first consult your physician.
Yeah.
Let him know that you're going to be doing XYZ trek,
Yeah.
you're going to be going at these altitudes. So do I need to take any medication? Do I need to take any tablets which are going to help me acclimatize? Technically, there are no tablets that will help you acclimatize, but they will manage your pH levels in the body.
Right.
Which eventually help your body in
Yeah.
acclimatizing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's better you let your physician know about this, so he will also guide you, and then in turn you let your trek guide know that okay, this is what, or these are the medications I am on, this is what I need to take.
Nice.
And this is what you should be sharing with your trek leader.
Oh, that's a very important point. Okay, so I am going to now get into the quiz part
Of course.
the episode.
Your favorite part.
So, which Indian state is home to the Valley of Flowers trek?
ये तो simple छे. This is Uttarakhand.
Correct.
This is simple. In fact, interestingly, this trek was discovered by chance.
Really?
Yes. How, when, by whom, we'll let you know in the next episode. But
Yeah.
I'll just drop in a small hint on this, that this trek was discovered by chance.
Such a nice thing to discover.
Absolutely.
Wow. Stumbled upon Valley of Flower. Wow. Okay.
Sandakphu trek.
Sandakphu trek
Ah.
offers views of how many out of the world's 5 highest peaks?
Sandakphu trek, I think, offers 4 out of the 5, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 out of the 5.
Do you know the names of the peaks?
Nah, this I might
One is
know.
very obvious.
One is very obvious.
Two are very obvious.
One
You
is, I
probably
think,
know.
Kanchenjunga.
Yes.
One is Everest.
Yes.
The other one, is it? Not
Starts
Nandari,
with
sorry.
L.
Lhotse.
Yes.
Lhotse, Kanchenjunga, Everest.
And it starts with M, the fourth
Wait,
one.
yeah. This is, I think, Nepal side. This is.
It's okay, you got 3. You got 3.
Which is this one?
Makalu.
Makalu. Mount Makalu. Yes, of course.
Oh my god, you are too good. I don't even know where this Lhotse is.
Lhotse comes Nepal side.
Nice. Okay.
So you get to see Lhotse when you're doing EBC.
And K2 is on this side of.
So K2 is there near Gilgit, Pakistan
India,
side of
Pakistan
Kashmir.
border.
Yeah, Gilgit side.
But it's apparently really tough to.
Yeah, it's the second highest mountain in the world.
Yeah. Scary, but very intriguing and interesting stuff.
So Deeksha, chale trekking.
With a heavy heart, yes. Like I'll
Have I managed to convince you?
You have managed because of the beauty part of it and the nature and stargazing, and you've promised, not technically, but that you'll make it easier.
Yeah,
the
of course.
tents will be safe and
Yes,
we'll have
bilkul.
toilet seats.
So generally on our treks, the kind of tents we use, you can walk in and come out.
So you don't have to like zzz and then
You have to
crawl
do zzz, but you don't have to go crawling. Because, like I said, we try and make sure that as much of comfort that we can provide, we try and give that on our treks. In fact, we'll be updating our trekking schedule soon. We have quite a few treks lined up in
nice.
October, September,
I'm sorry,
October.
I'm laughing because I have no idea. There's this... Kuch Hota Hai has this, she goes on a trek and she goes on this summer camp and there's a
Baap re.
tent where you can walk in. I am that Anjali, that kid Anjali.
Real and reality.
Sorry. Yeah. So do you announce?
Yeah, so we will
treks?
be coming up with quite a few treks in the month of September and October.
Nice.
Hope to see you guys on one of the treks.
So you will announce them.
Yes, we'll be announcing them
And
soon
the
on our
links
website.
will be in the description for Unmapped and for
Yes.
Globe and Beyond and Aranyamie.
Yes.
All the 3 channels. Cool.
So the mountains are calling.
They are calling for years. I haven't like क्या बोलते हैं? The mountains were calling and
I must go.
I must go. So I
So you used to turn it on silent and ignore.
Yeah, calling. Okay, bye.
So guys, the mountains are calling. Are you ready to join along?
Okay, come.
Come.
Come. We'll go together. So great.
Right.
We'll see you guys in our next episode. Till then,
Like, comment, subscribe. Do let us know in the
convince
comments how you
yourself.
like the episode.
Yeah.
Come up with some good ideas. Come up with some more questions for Deeksha who can stump me.
like, I do that today?
No, not today.
Not today, but oh my God, you gave the Everest. And
Oh, yeah,
all
I
the
didn't get
names
one.
of-
Yeah.
But I mean, that was amazing. You could name 3 out of 4. So great. We'll see you guys soon and prepare your minds for trekking expedition
Yes.
soon, hopefully. See you.